The tree does not remember how it came to life. It remembers only the warmth of the sun, the coolness of rain, and the steady pulse beneath the soil. It grew slowly, unaware of time, until the day human blood touched its roots. At first, it was only a small sprout in the heart of a clearing. Birds rested on its thin branches, foxes slept in its shade. But one winter morning, men came carrying ropes and wood, dragging a woman by her hair. She screamed and fought, her voice echoing in the still forest. The tree felt vibrations in the earth as the men hammered a beam into its trunk. They tied the woman to the makeshift cross, her eyes wide with terror. They called her a witch. As flames licked her feet, her screams turned into guttural sobs, then into silence. The scent of burning flesh hung in the air. Ash fell like snow, coating the roots. For the first time, the tree felt something. A warmth deeper than sunlight. A taste of anguish and fear. That night, its sap thickened. Its roots quivered. The forest air felt alive with whispers. A hunger awakens. Weeks passed. More humans came. Another woman, then a man, each accused of witchcraft, heresy, or theft. They all died beneath the tree's growing branches. Every drop of blood that seeped into the ground sent a shiver through the roots. Every last breath fed something deep inside. The tree began to listen. It heard their last words. It felt their thoughts in the moments before death. It tasted their fear. It began to dream. Waxing crescent moon, the hanging night. One night, 3 women were dragged into the clearing. The villagers tied ropes to its limbs, their voices low and trembling. "This tree will cleanse us," the priest muttered. "The witches must feed the soil, or the blight will return." As the women struggled, the tree felt their terror surged through its bark. The moment their necks snapped, something inside woke. For the first time, the tree thought more. Waning crescent moon whispers and eyes. By spring, people spoke of the tree as sacred or cursed. Some brought offerings, bread, milk, a dead rabbit, hoping to appease it. Others avoided it altogether, claiming to hear whispers when they passed too close. Children said they saw eyes in the knots of its trunk, eyes that blinked. The tree learned to reach. It nudged roots toward footsteps. It sent shivers through the ground, watching how humans flinched, was learning them, their fears, their sins. Drop of blood, the first possession. One autumn night, a drunk stumbled into the clearing. He fell against the trunk, mumbling curses. The tree saw his memories, a stolen loaf of bread, a beating he gave his wife, the night he drowned a crying child to silence it. The tree reached inside him. His body stiffened, his eyes went blank. When he spoke, his voice was not his own. "Feed me," it said through cracked lips. The man screamed and clawed at his own throat until blood ran down. His corpse fell at the roots. The tree drank deeply. Candle the birth of a legend. By the end of the century, the villagers no longer came to the clearing. Only the desperate and the damned dared approach. They called it many names: the gallows tree, the witchwood, the root of death. But the tree called itself nothing. It simply waited. It was patient. It knew more would come, and it was always hungry. Part 2: Plague and Wars. The tree had slept for decades. It did not dream as humans did, but it drifted in a haze of voices, screams, and memories left behind by the dead. It waited, always waited. In the spring of 1624, footsteps returned to the clearing. A child coughed weakly as her mother carried her, eyes wild with desperation. Behind her, a group of villagers trailed in silence, their faces pale and hollow. "The sickness spreads," whispered the priest. "We must give the tree an offering or we will all perish." The woman placed her daughter at the tree's roots. "Please," she cried, "take her pain away." The child's breath rattled. The tree reached down. It felt the fever in her blood, the infection eating her lungs. It felt her fear, her tiny flicker of life trying to hold on. And then the tree took it. The girl's eyes went blank. Her body slumped against the roots. Her mother screamed, but the priest pulled her back. "She is at peace now," he said. "The tree has taken her suffering." The villagers left bread, fruit, and coins at the base of the trunk. The tree felt none of it. Only the child's fading warmth nourished it. But it was not enough. More, the tree thought. Candle the plague years. As plague swept across the land, the tree became a shrine. Parents brought dying children. Lovers brought infected spouses. Some knelt and begged it to spare them, pressing their foreheads to the bark. The tree took everything it could. Disease, fear. It grew thicker, taller. Its bark darkened almost black. Knots twisted into strange shapes. Some said they looked like screaming faces. At night, the villagers heard whispers coming from the clearing, a voice like rustling leaves calling their names. Drop of blood, the first war. In 1675, soldiers came. They found the clearing and set up camp beneath the tree's branches. The tree felt their rage, the fear they buried deep inside. It touched their memories, burned villages, slaughtered families. That night, when the soldiers slept, the tree reached out. One soldier woke screaming. He saw shadows moving between the trunks. Faces of those he had killed stared back at him. Another soldier vanished into the woods. His comrades found him hanging from a branch by his own belt, eyes wide in terror. By dawn, half the company was dead. The survivors fled, never speaking of what they saw. The tree was pleased. New moon, the hungry god. By the 1700s, no one came to the tree willingly, but it did not need them to. Could send dreams now, whispers carried on the wind. Some nights, a farmer would rise from his bed, eyes glassy, and walk into the forest. By morning, he was found lying lifeless at the tree's roots. Others swore they heard voices in the dark. "Bring me your pain. Bring me your sins." The tree was no longer just a witness to death. It was a participant, a god. Waning crescent moon, the end of an era. At the close of the century, a group of villagers gathered with axes and torches. "This thing has cursed us long enough," one man growled. "We'll burn it to the ground." As they struck its bark, the tree felt their hatred, their fear. It lashed out. Roots burst from the ground, wrapping around legs and pulling men screaming into the soil. Branches whipped like whips, cracking bones and tearing flesh. By morning, the clearing was silent again. Only blood remained, soaking into the roots. The tree's hunger was sated, for now. The blood of the 20th century. The tree slept for years at a time now, but it was never fully silent. Even in stillness, it heard the rumble of distant cannons, smelled the acrid smoke of burning cities carried by the wind. Knew, it always knew when blood was coming.
Part 2 drops tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.